Hey everyone, you're listening to Warikoo on Voice with Warikoo. On this podcast, I talk to you about entrepreneurship, how to grow in life, manage personal finances, handle failures, and a lot more things that just come to my mind. The episode begins. This will be a short episode, but I hope a powerful one. One of my closest friends and I, a few months back, we decided to go on a rather interesting experiment. Instead of being in touch, so she's in the US, I'm in India, and of course there's this distance, time zone, so on. So instead of being in touch through calls and through messages and through emails, we said we want to be in touch through pictures, images that we clicked that day. And the big condition is only one picture per person per day. So she can send me only one, I can send her only one, and that's the way that we will communicate for a period of time. It's not important why we went into this, but it's important to recognize what it did, particularly to me, which I think is so true for all of us. Without this condition, without this scarcity, without this limitation, without this boundary, every time that I was engaging with my friend, it was with this feeling of abundance. It was like, I can say whatever I want to say, but I'll always have an opportunity to say more than what I've said. She can say whatever she wants to say, and I will listen, but I'll always have this opportunity to respond. I can check on whatever it is that she's going through. She can check on whatever it is that I'm going through. And that'll be a normal relationship. It'll be like a normal friendship that we all have. It'll be like any other relationship we have in our life. But the minute the scarcity was imposed, the minute that we had this boundary, this condition, it just changed everything, at least for me. Because now I started to value every single moment during my day. In some sense, questioning whether that moment was worthy enough to be shared. It was like, of all the 24 hours that I had in that day, I had to choose what I felt was the most precious moment and share it with that friend. And that set me thinking how we take so many of our relationships for granted. How we think that we can postpone that call to our parents or not have that conversation with our girlfriend, our boyfriend, our partner, not have that chat with our friend because we'll always have another time. We'll always have another time. We'll always have more to say. We'll always have another opportunity to say something that we wanted to say. But what if there is a condition imposed? What if you can only reach out to your friend once a day? What if you can only call your parents once a week? What if you could only share one moment of your day with your partner? How would you then go about doing that? How would that be different from what is it that you do today? And I'd argue it'll be very different from what is it that you do today. You will genuinely express all that you wish to express in that single moment that you have to share with the person that is so important for you. You will not waste your time in feeling angry or jealous or unhappy or tell them on how they wronged you or tell them how they are to be blamed. Instead, you will value that one moment for what it is worth and make the most of it. You're not going to submit yourself to these very small, petty feelings and emotions. Instead, be consumed by something that is overwhelmingly you and what you feel towards that person. It's a fascinating thought. It goes back to that same thing that I heard several years back, which is the minute you grow up and move out of your parents' house, let's say it happens at the age of whatever, 20, 24, 22, whenever that is. And let's say you move cities. So you're no longer even living in the same city as your parents. Maybe you've moved countries. And you meet them not so often. Maybe once a month. If you're in a different country, once a year. So when we think that, oh, we have another 10, 20, 30 years with our parents, no, we don't. We actually just have another 10, 20, 30 moments with our parents. Like that's what we will get to spend with them before they leave. And when you see that through that lens, it just changes everything. This scarcity that you would impose on yourself will make you value and treasure what you have a lot more. And unfortunately, the abundance of today's life takes it all away. I remember as a student in the US in 2002 to 2004, there was no voice calling at that point of time. There was no social network at that point of time. Everything needed to be paid for. And as a student who did not have enough money, I used to call my parents once every 2 weeks, and I used to call my girlfriend back then once every week. That was the only thing that I could afford. And it was a 5, at best 7-minute call. Everything else was an email. But even to access that email, my parents and my girlfriend had to go to a cyber cafe because we didn't have computers at our homes. That was what scarcity gave us. It gave us the moment to value and treasure that one email, that one phone call, that one letter that would reach us only so often. And suddenly we felt so much value in whenever we got that. And in today's age of abundance, where everything is at your disposal, you could voice call someone, video call someone whenever you want, irrespective of the distances, at zero cost to you. We take it frivolously. We take it as if it has no value, but it does. And I wish for all of us to see that the way that I did. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this episode of Voice with Warikoo. To be notified of upcoming episodes, be sure to subscribe and follow the show on this app right now. Also, don't forget to rate and review the show because that just feels nice. Thank you.